Good morning, gorgeous ones. How are you? I'm sorry I'm a bit late. I actually had a coaching call, not a consult this morning. I got up early. Well, I didn't get up that early. I just rolled out of bed, put on my hoodie and got chatting with a beautiful client / patient of mine, and we just chatted on for a little bit. Good morning, Michelle. How are you? I've got a ripper talk this morning, and one that is very pertinent to me currently at the moment, and I'm sure to lots of you. And that is the concept of dealing with uncertainty and disappointment. Two big triggers that our brain doesn't really like. So for us, what's happening, lots of you know that we are planning to go to Cocos Keeling Islands, which is a tiny little island right up the north of Western Australia, and it's right near Christmas Island. It's very remote. So, you have to take a couple of planes and then a little plane to get out there. And when you go out there, there's not many facilities. Oh yeah, thanks, I know. This is actually my daughter's hoodie. I'm just borrowing it because she's not here. So it's a bit of a trek. And we've planned this holiday. Well, my husband's done all the planning. It's a dive site. And remember, my family loves scuba diving. And this holiday has been planned and cancelled 4 times because of COVID, the pandemic. Anyway, we're all set to fly tonight, except I don't think we're going to be able to go. So, a couple of reasons. I'm not sure. The island itself has an outbreak. So they've been very, because they're so remote, they haven't had a lot of COVID there. I think they're all vaccinated, but they haven't had a lot of COVID. So the island's got an outbreak. And of course, what that means is that in a little community, they do not want to let it rip like we're doing in Australia, because they don't have the health facilities to be able to manage. There's no hospital there, or there's not, if there is, it's a tiny one. And there's no flights that come in and out of this island. So, they're relying on commercial airlines that fly in twice a week. So it is a big concern for them. So that's number one. Number 2, my darling daughter, who's up in Noosa, who was flying down to meet us, rang yesterday in tears because she's got COVID. So she can't come. So then it's like, all right, she's got COVID, we're down here. Can we really go to a remote island where we're really not available to her at all? She's 18, she's, vaccinated, she's likely to be well, but not, again, there is this thing is, if we're in Melbourne, I can just get on a plane and jump up there. I can get in a car and drive there. If we're in Cocos Island, we cannot get anywhere near her. So then there's that thing, thinking, oh my God, what are we going to do? So, and then there's the idea that if we do go, let's say I organise somebody else to be available for her, and we go, well, they've got an outbreak on the island. It is highly likely that the island could go into lockdown, and then as you know, I talked about our very rustic accommodation, and we're there in this lovely tropical place, but there's no food because there's only one supermarket. The restaurant is only takeaway. It could probably close, and there'll be no staff. So this is all the uncertainty that I'm talking about, and this is also the disappointment of a potentially failed trip. These 2 factors our brain really struggles with, and for a lot of people, that is a trigger for emotional eating. Because what do? We don't like this feeling. It's uncomfortable. It's pervasive. And, the way we want to get away with it, away from it, so we will either eat or have a drink. And it's really interesting for me to watch my hubby. He's really struggling with it because he's done a lot of the work. So in his mind, I guess he feels like he's got a lot to lose. And in my mind, I'm going, oh God, another thing. We've got very good at dealing with disappointment from the pandemic. And I think, yes, Nikki is talking about the forest of uncomfortable feelings. That's one of our meditations or hypnotherapies that I run. And it really talks about getting very comfortable with being uncomfortable. We really need to, I guess, embrace that, because it is a normal human emotion. Of course, it's normal to feel disappointment. It's normal to feel sadness. It'll be normal even to feel angry. But, there's no one to be angry at. We're angry at the nebulous pandemic. And what some people will do is they'll try and attribute that anger to a person. And they'll say, well, you know, I'm so angry, I'm so disappointed, I'm so frustrated. And it'll be a person that we can then sort of discharge that emotion onto. But again, that doesn't help us. At the end of the day, it's just sitting with it. So processing it. So sitting and processing rather than pushing it down. You'll remember my analogy about the beach ball. If you're standing in a pool and you've got a beach ball, holding it on the surface is reasonably easy. Pushing it down requires a lot of work, and it can then push up at any time when you're not expecting it. And that's what we do with food and alcohol. We will shovel down emotions rather than processing them. And maybe we'll go, well, how do I process? There's lots of ways to process emotions, and we are finding journaling, I know, it feels like it's bloody homework, but it is brilliant. It is such a good way to be able to get what's going round and round and round in your head out onto your page, and then having some ability to step back and look at it with a little bit of objectivity. The thing we lack, I don't think we're going, Kim. This is going to be the thing. I don't think we're going to Coco's. Kim's just written, have fun. Food will be expensive. Enjoy the long journey. I suspect we're not going to be able to go. We have packed snacks. I've got some jerky. I got some, actually relented and got some nuts because I just thought I need stuff that in case they don't have any food available. But anyway, as I said, we're just processing it today. We're meant to fly out tonight. What I would really love is for my husband to go with my other daughter, and I'll stay here. I'll put up pictures of tropical beaches behind me because then I'll be available to Elsie if she needs me to go up to Queensland. That, I think, is going to be the answer, but I'm not sure. Who knows? Anyway, I'm processing it. Oh, that's all right, Kim, I know. I've just been processing disappointment and uncertainty. So, I think that it really is this idea of going, you know, you don't need to gaslight yourself and say, oh, well, you know, look on the bright side, because disappointment is real, and disappointment is a normal human emotion. So processing is the key. Not shoveling down with food and not pretending it doesn't exist. There are often our two tactics, but just processing and allowing your feelings to just wash over you. And if you want to be able to think about them even a little more clearly, journaling can be really helpful. Talking can be helpful, but it's really interesting because, you know, and obviously I'm a talkaholic. Even in my practice where I do buckets of counselling, there are some people who get a little fixed mindset and aren't able to process. Okay, so we've just got to be mindful that part of processing is not rehashing, because that becomes unhelpful and just, you know, you're just confirming, but talking, allowing the feelings to be there, knowing that they're going to go away. Remember, no feelings stay forever. No feelings stay forever. They all come and they all go. And it's just being aware of that and allowing that to sit there and not numbing, neutralizing, shoving them down with food and alcohol. Right, lovelies. Who knows? I'll probably be back here in the morning. I wasn't meant to be. I'm meant to be on a plane, but we'll see. We'll see. And I hope you guys are all happy, healthy and well. I am in constant contact with my darling daughter, and yesterday I had to get it because she was staying in a backpackers. So she's in a six multi-shared room. So I had to get into mama bear mode and go, all right. Luckily, she's with her bestie. And I don't know if this is luck or not, but the bestie also has COVID. So they've both got it. So I've managed to get them a little Airbnb room, little housey thing where they're isolated from everybody else. There's a backyard that they can, you know, go outside. They're not going to see any other people for 8 days, and they can get Coles online to deliver them food. Not numbing, absolutely, Liz, not numbing. So yeah, so uncertainty all round in our house and part of life. Have a beautiful day, my friends, and I'll probably see you tomorrow. Bye, darlings.